Hey y'all, it's been a while. So we have had a lot of changes. A lot. The last time you saw me, we were in our house that we thought was going to be our forever home, and the Army has had other plans for us. So temporarily we are in an apartment just about 20 minutes from where we did live, which puts us like 8 minutes from Adam's work and like for me 8 minutes from the hospital. So it puts us in a better place locally to where kind of everything else is. It's also closer to our kids' homeschool co-op. So there's a little bit of positive to that. We still have no idea if or when we're moving or what the plan is. So with the way that the world is going right now, one of the things that we have really started trying to do more often is really think about our financial impact on ourselves. And a lot of our spending, we were realizing was going out towards food. We were eating out a lot and also buying groceries, and it was kind of counterintuitive, and we would have these groceries go bad in the refrigerator. Even though I cook pretty frequently, it wasn't enough that we were utilizing what we had. We also were always having stomach issues and other health issues, allergies, things like that. Some of you may know that I have psoriatic arthritis, and so I was having lots of flare-ups, and we really wanted to kind of get back to eating as clean and whole food as possible. And that kind of brings me to today's video. And that is our Azure Standard haul, our very first one. If you don't know what Azure Standard is, there are a million videos out there to tell you exactly what it is. But it's basically like an online grocery store. But you go online, you order pretty much anything that you can think of. They have, I mean, pretty much any item that you could ever possibly want to get in a whole foods-based home, they've got it. Everything from feed for your animals to flour to sugar to soy sauce to fruits and vegetables to meats to vitamins and minerals and hair care products and cleaning products. They have got it all. It is like the organic Walmart. So anyway, it is pretty amazing. And the best part is that the prices cannot be beat on almost everything. Now, I say that with a little caveat. I, in doing this, am doing this to save money. I went and when I first made the decision to order through Azure, I added every possible item that I could think of that Azure had in my cart. And if you don't know the way that it works, I kind of didn't explain that, but again, this is out there 100 times. So basically you order once a month, and it comes on an 18-wheeler, and you have a drop location, so you meet at a kind of close location to you. You'll put that in when you create your account, and it'll give you a drop coordinator and their information and all of that, and they will keep you updated on things as your delivery driver gets close and all of that stuff. So basically your drop coordinator will coordinate the drop, and you, along with whoever else in your area orders at that drop location, will go and you'll meet the delivery driver on the 18-wheeler. You'll help unload and load up everything in the truck. This order for us actually came on a day that we were going out of town, and our phenomenal drop coordinator picked it up and took it home with her for us and put our frozen stuff in the freezer and just basically saved the day, because it is, we made a pretty big purchase. Now, along with kind of the area of saving money, with this goes sometimes spending a little bit more money initially, the upfront cost. It's kind of like if you buy at Costco or Sam's. You are getting larger amounts at smaller cost per unit, but the end total for that item may be big, maybe more, because you're buying more units. So if you buy a bag of chips at the regular grocery store, might be, 20 ounces, and you go to Sam's or Costco and you're going to buy a 40-ounce bag. Well, yeah, the cost is going to be a little bit more, but that cost per ounce is going to be less at the bulk store. And that's kind of how Azure Standard works, is that you have multiple options of purchases with each individual item on almost every item. There are some items that you just, specifically more of the items that are other brand names and not the Azure brand, that don't really offer that cost per unit decrease if you buy more, but that's far and few between. The majority of them, the more you purchase, the less it is. So just going into this knowing that kind of our purpose behind this was to be able to create a food storage per se. Now, we're not talking prepper storage. I am not talking about dehydrated foods that are going to last 20 years. I'm talking about things that are going to get us through, you know, the next 6-8 months. And really each month we shouldn't be purchasing the same items over and over again each month, unless there are a couple items that you'll see today that I'm just trying, but unless it is like that, an item that we're just trying and then next month I might want to order more, or if it's an item that just isn't really shelf stable unless you have the perfect storage situation. Now, I said at the beginning of the video, we are in an apartment, and you're probably wondering, how on earth are you gonna have food storage in an apartment? That's coming in another video. Because we had to get really creative, y'all. When I say creative, I mean like a little crazy creative, but we made it work. And I really think this is gonna be a great experience for our family. All right, so with the camera setup I have right now, and with me about to lose daylight, I am just gonna have to either kneel and show you guys kind of what all these goodies are behind me, or flip you around. And I think the best option is for me to flip you around and just hold the camera. So as you can see, this is everything on the table. Now, behind me is just the pantry items. So the items that are stored just in room temperature. We also have a few things in the freezer and a few things in the refrigerator that I will also show you, just so that you can kind of get a feel. One of the things that I also did, oh, I totally skipped this earlier when I was telling you guys this. Sorry. When I added everything to my Azure order at the end of the month, or when it got closer to our cutoff time. So again, it's once a month. They'll give you a cutoff time. And I mean, to the time, like you have to the minute of when you have to have that order placed, or it won't be processed with that specific delivery day. So when it got to the, you know, that cutoff time, I really kind of knew what we were going to order. But weeks leading up to that, I just added everything I could possibly think of to our first order. And guys, this ended up like looking at like $1,500. Not in budget, right? Not for us. But what I was able to do is I was able to take each individual item and I looked at all of the grocery stores around me. So we have a Kroger, we have H-E-B, we have Walmart. I also checked Sam's Club. We do not have a Costco membership, so I didn't even begin to look at Costco, because to me that's adding another membership. Azure Standard has no membership cost, just so you know, and you do not have to order every month. You can just order when you want to order. And we have a Sprouts that's in Tyler, so it's about like an hour and 45 minutes from us. So close enough that I could count it, but knowing that I would need to have enough items there that would make sense for me to make that drive. So I looked at every single item. This did take me a long time, but my goal was to figure out what was gonna be the most cost efficient. Now, things that I found were some of the items, because we have Kroger, was really the biggest one. Their Simple Truth Organic brand matched almost identical ingredient-wise with a lot of the items that I was looking at cost. Now, there are stipulations to that, and I truly matched like item to item for ingredients. So like, for example, when it came to canned beans, that was one of the things that Kroger just had cheaper. I could get them, I think, for $1.47 at Azure, and then at Kroger it was like $1 or 99 cents a can or something like that. So about $1 a can. So Kroger was cheaper on that. So we stocked up, they ran a sale on beans, and so I just really stocked up our pantry on beans. And I think there were a few other things really that Kroger kind of just took the cake. Walmart though, Walmart, you're falling. They didn't really have hardly anything that was comparable. Sam's, because they lack in organic, they really didn't have anything that was super comparable. I also checked Amazon for a few things. I'm really weary about getting food on Amazon just because of the storage. You just really don't know the storage situation when it comes to food with Amazon. So I'm just careful when it comes to that. And then Sprouts, and Sprouts was comparable on a couple of items as well, specifically some of the brand name stuff that Azure carried that wasn't their Azure brand, that was other brands that Sprouts also carried. So all of the items that you will see today were less expensive than all of those stores in a comparable amount. I'll put the price I paid from Azure, and then you can decide if it's something that you want to do to look up your items. Okay. So we did have to bust into a little bit of this yesterday when I cooked dinner and lunch. No, dinner and lunch this morning. Yes. And lunch this morning, breakfast this morning, and lunch this afternoon. Y'all got me. So I'm going to just show you item by item real quick, and then we're going to go through. Again, I'll leave the price on the screen so that way you can see, and then I'll also have an Azure standard link down below if you really want to check it out for yourself. The link will be my referral link. It doesn't change the cost for you. Basically, it just supports me by sharing this information with you guys. Use it if you would like. I would love that. I think it just gives me like a credit towards my next order. So anyway, if you want to try and set up your own account, I'd love for you to use my link, and let's get started. So I did get this cheese planer so that way we can try to start making our own sliced cheese for sandwiches. This on Amazon was more expensive, so I did check this one on Amazon. I got 2 bars of organic dark chocolate or unsweetened chocolate baking bars. We got 3 boxes, and I did open one of these last night to have with dinner. It's the Jovial brand, which if you've never heard of them, it is probably the cleanest pasta that is out there. This is their brown rice pasta. We have not tried their cassava flour, but we have tried their einkorn pasta, and then we've tried a couple other different types, like shapes of pasta from the brown rice, and we really like it. So it's not real like grainy like some of the brown rice pasta. It's pretty consistent with just like semolina. So we got 3 boxes of this. So instead of buying 1, I bought a pack of 3. So that's 2 of those, the shells. Then I also bought a pack of 3 of the Jovial Fusilli. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then I bought a pack of the Jovial einkorn pasta, which is just made with the einkorn ancient grain in the penne. And so we're going to try that. Then also along with the Jovial brand, I did pick up just a small, as you can see, it's not very big, 32 ounce is how much this is, all-purpose einkorn flour, because we have a sourdough starter, which if you follow along on Instagram, you might have seen her by now. Her name is Mildred. She's named after my great-grandmother, and she is lovely and has already been on a road trip with us. And yeah, so anyway, so that's kind of my plan, is to maybe make some bread with some einkorn flour. All right, I got a bottle of balsamic vinegar, organic balsamic vinegar. We are balsamic vinegar lovers in this house. And so I only bought 1 bottle. I didn't buy the gigantic jug, solely for the fact that I want to try it, because we're also pretty picky about our balsamic vinegar. I got, and this is in the glass bottle. This is a plastic bottle. I think that's the only option you had of blackstrap molasses, organic blackstrap molasses. They have 2 different kinds of molasses. I believe that was one of the last things that I had added to my order. And I just wanted the clean blackstrap. I bought a 32 ounce, right? Yeah, 32 ounce in the glass container of cold pressed organic avocado oil. I believe I'm going to stop saying organic, because I am pretty sure that everything I purchased, unless it's a non-edible item, is organic. So just know that. I don't have to keep saying that word over and over. So I only bought 1 of those because avocado oil doesn't really, it's not really super shelf stable, and we do go through it. I mean, unopened, it'll last a little while. We do go through it pretty quickly because it's really the only oil that we use. I'm not big on cooking with coconut oil. We use olive oil every so often, but pretty much the majority of our oil is avocado oil. We don't use any kind of canola or safflower or sunflower or vegetable oil. We just use avocado oil anytime I'm baking or anything, because it has no flavor. So I just bought 1 of those. I bought 3. I only have 2 over here because 1's already open in the fridge from something. I think dinner lunch this morning. And And so 3 coconut aminos. Again, it was less expensive to buy 3. This is the brand that we like, the brand that we prefer. And so I knew I was already gonna like it. So I bought 3, a set of 3, not just 1 and then 3 quantity. I bought 1 jar of the organic jalapeno slices, just the pickled jalapenos. I haven't ever had this brand, so we're gonna try it. It was really funny to see Bailey try to pronounce it last night when we were going through this, checking to make sure we got everything from our order. I got a jar of strawberry fruit spread from Bio Nature. I really love this because the only ingredients are organic strawberries, organic apple juice concentrate, natural fruit pectin, ascorbic acid, and citric acid. Pretty clean ingredients, no sugar added. I got a jar of sriracha for the Bailey and me. I mean, we all love it. I got a set of 3 of the Muir Glen, maybe pronouncing that wrong, but pizza sauce. We do Pizza Fridays every week, and our intention is to stop buying frozen pizzas, which is kind of where we started going. We stopped getting them at like pizza places just because they always make us feel so gross. And the frozen pizzas don't typically tend to do that. They're not quite as greasy. And so we are going to start making our own sourdough pizza crust, but making our own pizzas at home. And the kids really enjoy that too. So then I also bought a case of 12 of the Bio Nature tomato paste. And I really like this one, because tomato paste you don't typically use a ton of right away. And so in the cans, it's really hard to save it. And so I usually use the little squeezy tubes, but I just don't like that you can't really get it all. Like I really tried to squeeze my last little bit out of some when I made barbecue sauce the other day, and I busted holes all through the packaging. So I really like that these are in glass jars. Also, I've been starting to really reuse a lot of our glass jars and clean them and try to repurpose them in different areas if I can, if not recycle them. And so I like that it's in glass versus the metal on that. Getting that, just like if you get Jovial tomatoes. Oh, and by the way, this one, the ingredients are, I believe, just tomatoes. Yeah, just organic tomato paste. So there's no added preservatives or anything. It's just the tomato paste. But like Jovial tomatoes is the same way. They also come in glass jars. You are paying a premium for that. So just kind of know that when you're, again, comparing apples to apples, if you're comparing it to a grocery store item that has other added preservatives or, again, is non-organic, you really can't compare those 2 items on price because you are paying for that organic produce or item. You're paying for the lesser ingredients, you know, more whole food based item. Okay, so this is 5 pounds of white quinoa. Just for reference, it's filled up, that's how big the bag is, it's filled up to about right there. This is 5 pounds of dark chocolate chips, and I'm so glad I got this in this order because it's now sold out. When you go online to add things, sometimes things sell out even if you've added them to your order. If you haven't placed your order, they may sell out underneath your feet. And while that's kind of a crap, sometimes, and it'll say on there, we sold out, but we were expecting shipment by this time, so it may be in there. Again, that's why I place everything in the cart that I think that I might want to purchase, and then I just start weaning it down from there. So this is 5 pounds of pure baking soda, no aluminum added, at the best price that I could find it. This is 5 pounds of organic green lentils. Back here is the Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 baking, the gluten-free 1-to-1 baking flour. That's our favorite of all the gluten-free 1-to-1 options, is the Bob's Red Mill. This is millet and brown rice ramen, and so my kids and husband like ramen, so I figured we'd kind of try. We have some of this brand, our local kind of health food store sells some of their actual soups that come prepackaged, and I have some of those, but I haven't bought them. Now those, I will say, these are not, yeah, there's 0 sodium in these. There's no salt. It's just brown rice flour and millet flour, or millet, I don't know, however you say that. But the soups have a ton of sodium. So just as an FYI, it would be a great option if you're having a lot of cramps and you've had like a really heavy workout and you're kind of dehydrated, to kind of plenish that sodium and those electrolytes, but it is super high in sodium. So just kind of know that. That is not, that's, like I said, just the flour. So this is 1 pound of raw sunflower seeds. They had a ton of different options on sunflower seeds. That is for my husband. This is 1 pound of pumpkin seeds, raw and hulless. This is for Bailey. Those are their favorites. This is 2.5 pounds of organic powdered sugar. Ingredients are organic cane sugar and tapioca starch. No cornstarch in this one. This is 1 pound of cocoa powder, just cocoa, organic cocoa bean, non-alkali processed. And then I picked up a walnut scrubber sponge. We are also making kombucha, and I've been reusing our GT's kombucha bottles, cleaning them and peeling the labels off, and I ruined one of my really good dish brushes. So this was only $1, and I'm thinking that the kind of walnutty, scratchy side of this will remove the gunk of the glue from those labels a little easier and not ruin it. But if it does ruin it, it's only $1 and I won't feel so bad. So then I got 3 things of the Zand Naturals Lemon and Honey Cough Drops. It's Adam and Bailey's favorites. And I'm gonna save that for the end because that is where you're gonna see the most cost change, okay? This is 5 pounds of organic cane sugar and 5 pounds of rolled oats. So when you are looking at prices and price per pound, price per ounce, all of that, and you are thinking about how much you want to order for your specific family, please remember that it goes by weight and not size of the item. So when we look at this, this is 5 pounds of rolled oats. This is 5 pounds of chocolate chips. This is 5 pounds of baking soda, right? So you're not really gonna, when you think about 5 pounds, don't think of them all the same size. Like that, it was really difficult for me whenever I was ordering. I was like, man, how do I picture how much that actually is and how I'm gonna store it? And am I ordering too much for us? Like, do we truly go through that? And one of the ways around that, or kind of trying to figure that out, that I did, is I would look at the item that we would purchase from the grocery store, from our local store, and see what size that was and kind of compare from there. So if they were the exact same size, then I was like, okay, well, yeah, that's the right size. But if it was like 5 times more, like normally I buy a pound of oats and this is 5 pounds, well, then I'll know, okay, that's 5 of those containers. So just kind of know that. Now, the next section of dry goods on the table are spices. And I want to tell you, there is not anyone out there that can beat the cost of Azure's spices. It is insane, the savings. I mean, like 90% savings. It is unreal. And if you watch any comparison video where people are comparing their Azure prices to like their local grocery store or even Amazon. Amazon's pretty much the only thing that's even semi-comparable when it comes to ordering organic spices in bulk. Azure has almost everybody beat. The only downside is sometimes things go out of stock. So that's what ended up happening with our chili powder, and I really needed chili powder. So I couldn't wait till next month. I had to just go ahead and order some from Amazon. So it is what it is, but we're gonna go through this. So when you see these, know again that these are bulk items. Also know that all of these will last a really, really long time. So even if it takes me years to use up this amount, they'll be fine as long as they're stored correctly, which we plan to do. If it's an item that I feel like we're not gonna use up enough, and which I'll show you, there's one of those that I'm like, ooh, yeah, I may have to share that. I'm probably just gonna pass on some to my parents and grandparents because when you are looking at the prices, especially spices, it goes from like 4 ounce to a pound, and it can be like, you know, 95 cents per ounce at 4 ounces. And then you go to a pound and it's like 25 cents per ounce for a pound. And so it's really just, I mean, cost wise, it really just made more sense to get the bigger amount and then just share if I needed to. So anyway, this is a pound of crushed red peppers. We use these in pretty much everything. I top almost anything and everything. There's really not like anything that I won't have crushed red peppers on. It's one of my favorite things. A pound of onion, yeah, it's a pound of onion powder. So again, you can see this is a pound, same weight, very different amounts. This is a pound of organic Ceylon cinnamon, which is the best one. This is only 4 ounces of cilantro flakes, y'all. Like, that's a lot of cilantro flakes. I don't know that I'll use this much. I will probably be sharing this with my parents to see if they want some, my grandparents, to see if they want some, because I just don't use cilantro flakes that often. But again, this was one of those ones that if I think I could buy this one like even in a glass bottle or something like that. It just wasn't, it didn't make any sense. Now, this is something we do use a lot of, so I'm not too terribly concerned. And I knew going into it that a pound of oregano was going to be a gigantic bag. But yeah, I have to figure out how long I think that this one's going to last. We use oregano in almost every kind of Italian dish, every kind of Mexican dish, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, but we eat a lot of both of those types of foods. So anyway, we'll see on that one. The last thing I got is 4 ounces of bay leaves. Now, this one blew me away. What I looked at the cost. When you buy bay leaves at the store, this is 4 ounces, by the way, not a pound. This is only 4 ounces. When you buy bay leaves at the store, they come with like what, 10, 12, 15 leaves per little glass jar. And a glass jar of organic bay leaves can cost you like $4 or $5, depending on where you're getting it. This probably has 150, 200 bay leaves in here. I mean, it's packed. And it was like $4. I mean, if I would have bought something where I could even get 100 bay leaves, that would have been like $80. It's insane. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna take you over here. We're gonna turn just a little bit, hey, close up. You get to see a little bit of our homeschool space here today, guys, too. Okay. So over here on the ground, I have a few other things. I'm not gonna pick this case up because the box broke, but we have, there's 12 32-ounce jars of apple cider vinegar with the mother. I will say, yeah, none of them are. None of their apple cider vinegars are, and this is just kind of for reference for everybody. It doesn't really bother me too much, but they're not sealed. So when you go to shake it, please check the lid. I did not. One of my lids was a little loose, and I shook apple cider vinegar all over my feet and floor. So just kind of note that they're bottled at Azure, and so they're not sealed. But again, it's apple cider vinegar. I'm not that concerned. So I got 12 of those. Could not beat the price anywhere. Okay. Let's look behind me here. Oh, this one's another heavy one. This is a case of coconut milk. Just organic coconut milk. That's literally all that's in it. Coconut milk. Okay. And I got 12 of those because we use coconut milk for a lot of things that call for heavy cream, just because of Bailey's milk protein allergy. Oh, another heavy box. That's my order. This is a 12-pack of crushed tomatoes. This is what I use to make pasta sauce. So anytime I'm making like spaghetti sauce or any kind of pasta sauce, red pasta sauce, I use crushed tomatoes. It's our favorite because we don't really like big giant chunks of tomatoes. So I also ordered, move these over here. You can get, like I said, you can get a lot of things other than food. You can also get storage jars there. So they have gallon and half-gallon size. One thing that if you watch any other Azure video, everybody will tell you, don't forget The jars do not come with lids. It even says it in the description. You have to purchase the lids separately. So even doing that, purchasing the jars and the lids separately, it still isn't comparable at all to anywhere else. I ordered 4 1-gallon jars, glass jars, almost identical to these. Actually, they probably are identical, only they came with plastic lids instead of metal lids. And it was like $40 for 4 of them, I think. And these were, I think, $17 for the jar and like $3 or $4 for the lids. So, I mean, it's like half the cost. Really, really major difference. Now, I didn't get the half-gallon jars. I only got the gallon because we have half-gallon mason jars. And so I can kind of just use those instead. I don't feel like I need to. And the our Walmart actually had half-gallon mason jars in stock, so I was able to kind of go ahead and get 2 cases of those, and it was less expensive than getting the jars at Azure. So just glass, clear, very good quality jars. And I have 8 of those. They come in a box or in a pack of 4, and I ordered 2. So again, 8 lids. All right, so that's it over here. Let me show you this. Buckets. Now, they also have buckets. So these are food grade buckets. This is the 2-gallon size. I ordered again in a pack of 3 versus singles. And then these are Gamma lids. I've never used them before, my husband has. They basically snap on and then unscrew off, so that way you're not having to pry the lid off of the food grade buckets to get into them. I plan on using one of our 5-gallon buckets for Raiders dog food. So we actually didn't order 5-gallon buckets from Azure because they were less expensive at Tractor Supply. Azure, I think, has them for $6 or $7 per bucket, even if you order them in a set of 3, and Tractor Supply had them for, I think they were just under $5 when I looked online, but when Adam went in the store, they were only like $3.50, something like that. It was enough of a cost difference. I was like, make sure you got the food grade ones. So, and he did. He took a picture and it was fine. I don't have those in here because they're still in his truck. I need to wash them. So that is it for pantry stuff. I'm going to take you over here. We're going to go on a little journey. Now, I'm going to turn you around so that you are not like this close, because I don't think you want to be all up in my grill. But remember, we are in an apartment. We have an apartment size fridge. Okay, so here we go. We're going to open up our freezer. Now, these are some of the things that we ordered from our freezer. This just seemed like it's going to be easier. These are called cottage fries. They're basically, I'm sorry for the lighting, it's a freezer. They're basically like chips, like potato chips that you can just bake like fries, but they're just potatoes. There's no oil. So I got 1 bag of those to try them. I got 3 of these, which is going to have 1 for dinner tonight. And then back here is organic edamame, which I can't find anywhere. So that, oh, and then I also bought a thing of, that's a sourdough pizza crust from a local lady. This is Ezekiel flour tortillas. So, all right, now we're going to head in here to the deep freeze and hopefully not bother my husband who's doing work. Hello, dear. Okay, so we, yes, have a deep freeze in our closet. Again, we got creative on storage. Canning supplies. So this is a deep freeze. Now we get almost all of our meat from ButcherBox. So as you can see, we're pretty packed on ButcherBox meat. The only frozen items I really got, besides the stuff that you already saw, I did get a ton of these butters. Hopefully that focuses. This is what everybody had said was the best. I have never tried it, but we go through a ton of butter. This is just grass-fed, grass-finished cows, free-range cows, all of that, organic butter. And then the other thing that we got is a 5-gallon box of hash brown sliced. I mean, they're basically just like diced potatoes. They're not really hash browns. But that is it. All right, y'all, so that is it for our very first Azure order. I don't think I missed anything. I'm pretty sure that's everything. I probably did a bad job of describing how the whole company works. However, like I said, there are 100 videos out there, and I really didn't want you to have to listen to the same thing that's on almost every single one of those videos. So if you have any questions or want me to make a video to kind of explain how the ordering process works, I really don't mind, but I just really wanted to kind of show you guys what we had ordered. I may actually make a video that reminded me. of kind of how I organized what we got, knowing like, because again, it's a 1 month drop. So making sure that we had plenty of space here in our pantry, in the refrigerator, in the freezer, that kind of stuff for what we ordered and how I organized it. And that way when it came in, kind of knowing what needed to get checked off, because you want to kind of go through your order just to make sure that nothing got missed in the packaging process. So anyway, if you have any questions, just leave them down below. I do have some other videos that I have already recorded that will be coming out as well, some homeschool style videos, and I hope to get those out like pretty ASAP, maybe even before this one, who knows. All right, see you later.